Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Maudis, student of Hialeah Gardens Senior High School, and today I will be presenting my Component 3 presentation for Global Perspectives and Research, syllabus number 9239, candidate number 0645. My presentation is on nuclear energy. The group's presentation question is, should nuclear power be used as a main source of energy? Today I will be talking about the research that has been gathered on nuclear power and how it can affect the world of science. More importantly, focusing on the categories of health and science. As emphasized by the Nat Geo site, nuclear energy is the energy found in the nucleus of an atom. This huge amount of energy can create what we call electricity. This energy is oftentimes found in nuclear power plants or nuclear reactors, in which they control the energy to ensure that it is ready to be made into electricity safely and efficiently. According to what is nuclear, a nuclear reactor is a system that contains and controls the nuclear chain reaction. These reactors serve many purposes other than producing energy, and they also produce medical isotopes that can help in conducting cancer treatment. Going more into depth on how these reactors work, what is nuclear states that the fuel is placed within the reactor vessel with a miniature neutron. This neutron starts the action of splitting atoms. This action creates tremendous amounts of energy that's in the form of heat. This heat is carried out of such reactor through what is called a coolant. This whole process is shown in this image. It demonstrates the process that these reactors go through in order to create electricity. Nuclear energy is extremely prominent all around the world and is an alternative to supplied energy. This image demonstrates how much nuclear energy is used in certain countries. France is a leading user of nuclear energy, as they use over 75% of this energy, following multiple countries like Ukraine and Slovakia, both in the 50% energy range. According to the image, the United States does not seem to rely much on the usage of nuclear power, as they only use about 20%. The World Nuclear Organization demonstrates that the United States has 99 nuclear power reactors spread all over the country. These reactors provide about 20% of the total electricity that is generated within the US. This energy alternative is the number one source of energy found in the United States. Along with the US being a user of nuclear energy, Slovakia is also a prominent user of this energy. The Slovenský elektrín established that the nuclear energy is basically the pillar of Slovak energy grid. They have 4 reactors currently, which are used to create about 50% of the electrical energy used in Slovakia. They use the nuclear power plants and reactors to provide heat, which benefits the country. As well as Slovakia, China is also a user of nuclear energy. According to the World Nuclear Organization, China has 38 nuclear reactors with about 20 built currently. Those that are currently being made are said to be one of the most advanced nuclear reactors ever seen. As well as proposing technological advances, nuclear energy power can also prove detrimental to health. As talked about in New England Journal of Science, exposure to a leakage of energy, nuclear energy, or malfunction with a nuclear reactor, also known as a radiation, can have fatal consequences to an individual. If you've been exposed to a small amount of radiation, acute radiation sickness may occur. As further talked about in the next slide, multiple accidents like these have come. Fukushima's accident was a devastating nuclear accident that occurred in Japan on March 11, 2011. According to the World Nuclear Organization, no cases of radiation sickness occurred, but if the accident hadn't been fixed quickly, it could have caused damages that could not be turned back. The chemicals that were released caused for an evacuation and proposed health damages on the environment. Another famous incident was the Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster that occurred in 1986. According to the Chernobyl Gallery, over 31 deaths were directly attributed to the accident. About 30,000 cancer deaths resulted from the fallout of radiation that occurred due to the nuclear energy. According to the Britannica, this incident caused for more radioactivity to be produced than the atomic bombs that were dropped in Hiroshima, Japan. As well as many people feeling ill, the massive accident called for contamination of forest and farmland. Moreover, these tragic events brought light to how the health of people is affected by the damage of nuclear power. Although my group members and I all had different viewpoints on how to find a solution of the problem, we decided to come up with one that would benefit all of us as well as the whole world. Our solution was to limit the amount of nuclear energy that is used all over the world in order to limit the health problems and environmental problems that may arise. Some members of my team, such as Ashley Mayorga and Farina Izquierdo, proposed that nuclear energy should be used more since it could bring more benefits like more CO2 into the environment, as well as being able to help society and give them more energy. My proposed solution would be to limit the amount of nuclear energy used worldwide, as it can contribute to health problems and takes up too much money to create. Since they rely on tremendous amounts of technology, I propose that a meeting within the UN should be established in order to see if there was any other alternative instead of using nuclear energy as the main source of energy. The UN should attempt to come up with a solution that would guide each country on having clear, safer energy. I would also propose that further technological advances be done in order to limit risks such as Fukushima and Chernobyl. In the future, I will conduct more research to have better understanding of how nuclear energy works. I will try to look on the benefits and figure out other better alternatives. More importantly, I will investigate how the usage of nuclear energy affects the whole world, instead of just a very small fragment. As well as looking into how it affects scientifically, I would also like to dive in further on how it can affect or disadvantage the people of the environment. These are my sources.